Welcome to MojoPlays, and today we're looking at the hardest characters players can try to unlock in superhero games.
Come and get me!
But before we get into it, we publish new content all week long, so be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. Silver Surfer, Marvel Ultimate Alliance. While a cheat code could also unlock the Herald of Galactus, which is why we're opening the list with him, the gameplay method is tough enough that it warrants mentioning. The more traditional method of playing as the Silver Surfer in the original Ultimate Alliance required completing all simulator disc challenges. But it wasn't as simple as just clicking on them in a menu. You had to find them scattered throughout your playthrough.
Bat-Mite!
You didn't have to reach gold ranking on them, at least, but still, there are a lot of them to get through. And even on easy, some of them provide mighty challenges. Professor X, X-Men Mutant Academy 2. You might not expect to see Professor X as a playable character in a fighting game, but X-Men Mutant Academy 2 shows Xavier can throw hands. You just have to put in the effort to actually play as him. First, you have to beat the arcade mode with every character, including Psylocke, who is unlocked after beating it with Wolverine. Doing this only gets you Juggernaut. You have to then beat it as him in order to unlock Professor X. All in all, you're going through arcade mode 16 times. Props to the developers for including him, making good use of his abilities as well as implementing his wheelchair into his moveset. Green Goblin, Spider-Man.
Come on!
Splash grenades are nasty!
The tie-in game to Sam Raimi's first Spider-Man movie featured several unlockable costumes, and surprisingly, one unlockable villain. You have to beat the game on hard mode in order to play as Green Goblin. It's not as if this hard mode is one of the most difficult in gaming or anything, but it's obviously still a challenge.
I think this glider could be damaged.
It's a pretty cool way to implement the character, too. It isn't an entirely new game, levels still mostly stay the same, even though gameplay is clearly drastically changed. The story is also completely different, focusing on Harry as he follows in his father's footsteps while investigating the appearance of another goblin. Bat-Mite, Lego Batman 3 Beyond Gotham. Leave it to a Lego game to make the silliest possible character the hardest one to unlock. After you complete the story mission of every level in Lego Batman 3, you unlock the ability to play it in free roam mode. Here you can find Bat-Mite, who offers you a fetch quest where you have to track down a group of items and bring them back to him. The quests on their own aren't too bad, but there are 16 of them. And outside of using a guide, there's nothing that signals where to look for Bat-Mite or that there's a reward for doing all of them, making him the most difficult character on the roster to unlock. Rocket, Young Justice Legacy. Young Justice Legacy may not be that great of a game, certainly not befitting of the animated series it's based on, but it still has some unlockable characters, with Rocket claiming the honor of the hardest to earn. To play as her, you have to beat the game on hard mode. Nothing fancy or complicated here, but on top of the increased difficulty, you'll find your patience tested due to this being a pretty repetitive, uninspired experience. She's got some cool abilities, don't get me wrong, although why you'd want to put yourself through another playthrough just to experience her is questionable.
Alpha to cave. We're closing in on Sportsmaster.
Acknowledged, Alpha. Be careful.
Wonder-Bayonetta, the Wonderful 101. There are two ways to unlock Bayonetta in the Wonderful 101. The first, after beating the game, was by putting in specific codes at specific locations and spending a whole lot of in-game currency for each one. The second and harder method, which earns her a spot on this list, was by getting every bottle cap in the game. These essentially stood in for the game's achievements. There were 101 in total, with the final one basically being its platinum, earned after getting the previous 100. Bayonetta is a really cool and really powerful guest character, but completing all of these challenges is understandably extremely difficult. Iron Man, X-Men Legends 2: Rise of Apocalypse.
I really want to keep this up.
Most playable characters in Rise of Apocalypse are obviously mutants, but you have the option to play as one of Earth's mightiest heroes so long as you're willing to put in the work to unlock him. Tony Stark is held captive by Apocalypse in Egypt. To set him free, you have to find 4 hidden homing beacons in each act. This opens a portal, taking you to a hidden challenge area, and completing each of these gets you a piece of his armor. Doing it all correctly allows you to present him with his armor suit and add him to your team. Tony is pretty OP in this game too, so all the extra legwork is definitely worth it. Aunt May, Lego Marvel Superheroes.
Look at the teacher wearing.
Remember what I said about LEGO games making silly characters the hardest to unlock? You can play as Peter Parker's elderly Aunt May in LEGO Marvel Superheroes, but it will be a long time before you get the chance.
I can sleep at night again. Be honest though, you just followed the convenient trail of studs, didn't you? Nah, games are too nice these days.
May is unlocked after completing Deadpool's 3 side quests. Except, you can't unlock Deadpool until you've gotten his 11 red bricks, some of which are hidden in specific levels, but all of which cost a hefty amount of studs to access. You have to play a lot, spending millions of studs before Deadpool joins the roster. But you need him to get Aunt May, and the joy of beating people up with her purse. Captain Blue, Beautiful Joe. In Beautiful Joe, you unlock different characters by beating the game on certain difficulty levels. The extra challenge and time commitment comes from the fact that some of those difficulty levels are only available by beating previous ones. Beating the game on Adults mode gets you access to V-rated, and beating that gets you access to Ultra V-rated. Having to beat this extra hard difficulty to unlock Captain Blue in a game that's already tough would be enough to warrant his inclusion, as this is a supreme challenge. But having to beat the game twice before you even get the opportunity to try is even more of a strain. Thanos Infinite, Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3: The Black Order.
His will
This could almost be considered an alternate costume since Thanos was already in the game. But with the Infinity Gauntlet, he's considered a separate character and also gets a new moveset, one that is genuinely overpowered, which is why he takes so much effort to unlock.
Let me show you how it's done.
He was added in with the third and final DLC, Shadow of Doom. You first have to beat the DLC on superior difficulty to unlock ultimate difficulty. Then beat it again. In case it wasn't obvious, ultimate difficulty is a true test of your might. It's worth it to have the ability to wield 6 Infinity Stones against your enemies. Though it won't be much of a challenge, it can be incredibly fun to rip through foes like a god. Do you know of any other characters that were a challenge to unlock in superhero games? Share them with us in the comments, and we'll see you next time.
Phew! Guess you'll be wanting a prize now, huh? Well, I'm fresh out. I'm only messing with you. Take it and get out of here, you crazy kid.